Welcome back for day 18. We're going to be doing a lot of versions of the warrior pose. And if at any point it feels a little too much, just go back to the simple one or two and stretch there and then join back in when you feel comfortable. I want to introduce y'all into some different things, but I don't want to stress your body. This is not a full yoga class, so we don't have enough time to properly warm up our bodies. So if anything is feeling too tight, please stop and don't go any further. We're going to start in warrior one. We've got right foot forward, left foot back. Our heels are in line if possible. Our foot is at a 45-degree angle. Trying to keep that heel on the ground. If it needs to bend, that's fine. Hips aligned this way. All right. Navel is in. Pelvis tilted forward. Hands up if you'd like. Shoulders away from your ears. If you need, hands down here is fine. If you need to bend that knee, that's fine. Let's go to warrior two. So we're going to open our hips. We're going to change our foot position. So our heel is pushing into the ground. The balls of our feet are on the ground. The knife edge is parallel to the mat, and that knife edge is pushing, and then the ball of this foot is really pushing. Our heel is on the ground, but we're really pushing with the knife edge and the ball of our foot. Okay, hips are open, trying to get this foot in line with the middle arch. Hips open, pelvis tilted, hands on your hips if you'd like, or hands out. If hands are out, we're stretching, reaching as far as our fingertips can go, and our navel is in. Such a good stretch for our hips. I love this one. Opens up the hips. Deep breaths. All right. Slowly come out of this. Watch that hip. Such a good stretch, but you also feel it. All right, foot forward. We're going into warrior. Other side though, hips pointing towards the forward knee. Foot is at a 45-degree angle. If it needs to bend, your knee needs to bend, that's fine. Trying to keep it straight if possible. Hands up or on your hips. I want to keep my heels in line, but if I need to make it a little wider, that's fine. Careful with your knee, don't put too much stress on it. Or hips here, if you want to really make sure that hip is correct. Pelvis tilted in, navel in. All right, rotate to warrior two. Feet are lined up where the middle of this arch is in where that heel is. Knife edge in the ground, pushing, big toe pushing, that right gives you a really good arch. Hips open, pelvis tucked, in as deep as you feel comfortable, and hold. Okay, let's make sure this back hip doesn't go up. Let's make sure it's level. I really struggle with that because the natural instinct is to really lean into it, but we want these hips to be level. Keep adjusting as you need. Me to have my hands on my hips so I can build when my pelvis goes out and keep it correct. All right, slowly come out of this. Okay, we're going to sit down for just a little bit and let our hips stretch back the other way. So we're going to put our foot on our knee, shins parallel, and push down on that knee. Whatever feels comfortable. We're not shoving, we're just leaning into it. Deep breath in. Another way to get a similar stretch, you can keep stretching there, but if you'd like to try this, you can do the chair, but we're going to do a one-seated and then bring our leg up. So we put our leg here, and then when we go down, you can still get that stretch right there. So if you want to challenge yourself with balance, then feel free to do this way. Okay, go ahead and switch legs. Stay down on the ground if you want, or try the one-legged seated chair. Really pushing those hips back if you're going to try the chair. So it's whatever feels comfortable for you. It's definitely more relaxing on the ground, but it's an awesome balance challenge in the one-legged seated chair. All right, we're gonna get into the humble warrior. This one can be a little deep. We might not do the full expression, whatever you're feeling comfortable with. All right, this one is pretty intense, so let's be careful that if we're feeling some pull on our knee, we stop and maybe just go to the regular warrior. All right, we're gonna be in mountain pose. Then we're gonna step this leg back. It's gonna be a wide stance. So we're gonna go pretty far out. I'm gonna step my leg forward to help. You can either just step that leg back or each do half of it. All right, this foot back here is at a 90-degree angle. So it's a little more of an angle than the warrior. Okay, we're gonna lean into this. Let's go ahead and turn our pelvis. We want our heel and our big toe pushing, and we want our outer heel back here pushing into the ground. It's kind of pushing our pelvis up. Okay, rotate that pelvis this way. Heel pushing back here, big toe and heel pushing. Now your whole foot's on the ground, but that's what actively pushing. Okay, face this way with your hips. Move forward. We're going to keep our hands on our hips for now so we can feel how our hips are moving. You can eventually do an expansion, pull your hands behind, which helps your chest open up and go down even farther. But we're just kind of touching the warrior pose. So we're facing this way and we're leaning forward, trying to keep our hips aligned with the mat. We don't want one hip like this. This hip is too close to the mat. This hip is too far. So we're aligned, pushing in with our heel back here, big toe, or balls of your foot, and heel right here. Leaning forward till your knee becomes perpendicular with the ground. Maybe opening that chest. Maybe going down farther if you're feeling good. If you want, you can go take it into the fuller expression. But that is only if you're feeling comfortable. And slowly come up. All right. Let's go to the other side. Mountain pose. Foot goes way back. 90-degree angle here. Heel is pushing into the ground. I found when my heel is pushing into the ground here, and the balls of my foot, and my heel is pushing up here, it helps my knee not hurt. For some reason, if my feet aren't activated correctly, it's some pain and tilting in that knee that doesn't feel healthy. So be really careful when you're grounding. So we got our heel pushing in back here. Heel and ball of the foot. Turning as much as we can. Elongating our body and leaning forward into it. You find if you're not wide enough, you're going to have to slide your foot forward. Going till 90 degrees. Maybe stretching and opening that chest a little bit. Maybe going in deeper. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Keeping that hip aligned with the mat. Both sides of the hip should be the same distance away from the mat. Pushing into that 90 degrees with the knee to the floor. Shoulders away from the ears if you're having your hands on your hips. And slowly come out. All right, good job. It's always awesome to try new things. You gotta keep taking care of your body. But sometimes you try something new and it works great. All right, we're gonna do a simple stretch, laying on our back. Let's just go out and let those legs and hips just stretch. And just relax. And come in, leg up. You can hold it if you'd like. Some twisting would feel good after this. I know my hips are feeling all sorts of weird from all those weird positions. So if you've got extra time and you want to do a little extra stretching, go ahead and do it. Switch legs. I love a good hip stretch after this. Now relax. We're going to end the day lying down again. If you have time, go ahead and stretch some more. I know your body would love it. Thank you so much for joining us. Just take a few seconds to breathe out your stresses and get ready for your day.